Lena and Ben were a pair of happy optimists constantly fighting their bank account. Their greatest regular expense wasn't their cramped apartment, but their time. Every Saturday they drove out to help Lena's parents, Clara and Arthur, with their rambling, slightly too large farmhouse. Another loose floorboard, Dad? Lena sighed, hammering a nail into a weathered oak plank. Honestly, you two need to downsize. This place is draining you. Arthur, dressed in frayed overalls and perpetually covered in sawdust, chuckled, wiping a speck of dirt from his glasses. It's got character, darling, and it keeps your handyman husband busy. Character is expensive, Ben muttered good-naturedly, wrestling a perpetually leaky faucet in the kitchen. I wish we could afford to hire a crew to fix this whole wing for you. Clara, who always wore the same plain cardigan and spent her days tending to a huge, unruly vegetable garden, patted Lena's arm. We appreciate your help more than you know. It's the time we cherish, not the repairs. 2 weeks later, the bombshell dropped. We're selling the estate, Clara announced over a Tuesday dinner of frozen pizza, her voice quiet. It's just too much. We can't keep up with the taxes and maintenance anymore. We found a nice small apartment by the lake. Lena stared, tears welling up instantly. No, Mom, Dad, this house is your legacy. I'll organize a fundraiser. Ben and I will take out a loan. We can't let you lose this place. Arthur looked genuinely sad. It's already arranged, sweetheart. The final meeting is Friday. Friday arrived and Lena and Ben were an emotional wreck. They stood beside her parents in the sprawling, elegant, yet clearly dilapidated living room, waiting for the buyer. A sleek black car pulled up, and out stepped Mr. Sterling, the most notorious real estate mogul in the state, known for ruthlessly developing old properties into luxury high-rises. He was flanked by 2 nervous-looking assistants. Mr. and Mrs. Hayes, Sterling boomed, extending a hand to Arthur. Sterling Development is thrilled to acquire this prime piece of... Wait, Arthur? The Arthur Hayes? I thought your assistant was handling this transfer. Arthur smiled faintly, pulling off his worn work gloves. Hello, Sterling. Yes, I decided to handle the transfer of ownership myself. Clara and I are ready to greenlight the renovation. Lena felt her mouth go dry. Renovation? But Dad, you said you were selling to afford the maintenance. Arthur placed his hand gently on Sterling's immaculate shoulder. Darling, we were selling it from us to our holding company, Hayes Global Acquisitions. We needed the transfer to initiate the trust's renovation budget. Sterling, now looking completely deflated, chimed in. Mrs. Miller, your parents don't just own this property. They are the Hayes. They own Sterling Development. They fund the Hayes Endowment. They essentially own a very large, discrete chunk of this town. Lena looked from her father, the handyman in overalls, to her mother, the gardener in a stained cardigan, and finally back to Sterling. You're that Arthur Hayes? The one who built the science wing at the university? Clara finally shed her quiet demeanor, her eyes twinkling mischievously. We prefer to be hands-on parents, Lena. We wanted you to learn to live simply and work hard, not be defined by a bank balance. She took a check from her cardigan pocket. It was impeccably clean and handed it to Ben. That's seed money, she said, her voice warm. For the small furniture design business you've been dreaming of. It's fully funded, no loans required. Now, if you'll excuse us, Arthur and I have to go select new marble for the entryway. Lena collapsed into Ben's arms, a loud, joyful, and slightly hysterical laugh bubbling out. I just spent 5 years yelling at the richest people in town to fix their plumbing. Ben kissed the top of her head. Well, at least we know we married for love, not luxury. Ready to be an accidental heiress?